What fact is ignored generously? That just because someone tells you something is a fact doesn't mean that it is. Make sure to do your research. I'll take your word for it. Human memory is extremely unreliable. We forget important details. We fabricate memories and convince ourselves that they are true. What we do remember is distorted to conform to our biases. When I was 5, my parents surprised my older sister and I with a trip to Disneyland really early in the morning before our flight. For years I had this memory of it happening and being so excited. They videotaped the whole thing, but we had lost the video for years. When we found it, I saw that I was actually asleep the whole time. I had completely made up the memory based on my sister and parents talking about it. Prevention is more affordable than treatment. Dubiously related. Every time the medical field finds a way to treat a condition, it just opens up the road to a harder to treat, more expensive condition. Edit. Dubious. That we all have confirmation bias. In my studies I found that I do not. Oh wait. Just because it's legally allowed doesn't mean you're not a douchebag for doing it. Example, free speech isn't freedom from consequence. You legally can say, "Nah, whatever you want." Doesn't mean people won't call you a dick for it. Everyone is a huge hypocrite when it suits them, including me. The irony of this statement is that if you're ever in a situation where being a hypocrite would suit you, but you aren't a hypocrite, then you are a hypocrite because you said you would be but weren't. The number of people who die after a war to consequences of war, hunger, disease, etc. are not counted in the statistics. Talking for France here, some people who died between the 9th and the 11th of November 1918 were not counted as dead these days, because that would be quite awful for a family to learn that your husband / brother / son / father died the last day before the war stopped. Just because some people are naturally talented doesn't mean you shouldn't work hard. Hard work can beat talent when talent doesn't work hard, as my undergrad advisor was fond of saying. France didn't stop executing people by guillotine until 1977. And slavery wasn't legally considered a crime against humanity until 2001. Humans overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what we can achieve in a year. Facts. Facts aren't opinions. I wish I could upvote this a million times. I'm getting really sick and tired of people who argue 2 points, where one is arguing from evidence-based facts, the other is arguing from a YouTube conspiracy video, and the second tries to take the high road with, "You have your opinion, I have mine." No, you fucking window licker. Person A has facts, you have idiocy. Being at a job for a long time does not mean someone is good at their job. Co-worker of mine used to say, there is 10 years of experience, and then there is 1 year of experience repeated 10 times. Depends on the agenda of the people doing the ignoring. People only care about the facts that agree with them. Confirmation bias, which coincidentally is a fact that most ignore, because it doesn't really agree with anyone. You are not immune to propaganda. Fun word fact. The term propaganda originally referred to a Catholic Church committee for propagating the faith during the Counter-Reformation. This comment was brought to you by Big Etymology. You have blinkers for your car, so that you can tell other drivers that you're changing lanes. Fun fact, it's the law. And you need to put them on before you start to move lanes. The importance of getting 7-9 hours of sleep every single night. To add to this, 7 to 9 hours of sleep is not the same as a 7 to 9 hour sleep opportunity window. If you're giving yourself a 7-hour sleep opportunity window, you are not getting 7 hours of sleep. Probably more like 6. Mob mentality doesn't mean you are right. Admitting to a mistake is not a sign of weakness. Bending over backwards to cover it up and pretending like it never happened is. It's in your best interests too. If you don't backquote on your mistakes, others will and may use them against you. Older doesn't always mean wiser. Wisdom is obtained from what you do with your time. It's not about how much time you've had. Just remember, stupid people get old too. Giving birth to a kid doesn't make you an expert on raising them, nor do they owe you for being born. A lot of people need to realize this. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I hate you. And conversely, just because I agree with you doesn't mean I like you. Animals are much more brutal than people realize. We only see the cute cuddly side on the internet. Cheetah makes friends with a goat, gets more views than warthog gets eaten alive by lions and lasts a surprisingly long time while it's happening. Animals will eat you alive if they don't think you're a threat to injury. It's out of survival. Something bigger and badder might come along, and they won't have eaten anything. No, the leopard didn't kill the animal before eating it out of compassion. It just didn't want to take a hoof to the head while it was having lunch. I watched 3 lionesses hunt a warthog and its piglet up close once. 2 of the lionesses made themselves seen, while the third slid behind a small mound and snuck through the grass. The warthog stayed focused on the 2 lions in the open. The hunter got within a few feet and crouched low, ready to strike. Something alerted the warthogs and they took off like a rocket. The lioness, being the queen of the savannah, rolled on her side and started licking her paw. Hugely disappointing. Edit. I did get one of my favorite pictures during this experience. http://imga.com/8pjp5x4. Being rich doesn't mean you're great with money or someone who should be trusted with business decisions. Or smart. People love to assume that. Never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. George Carlin. Great minds think alike, but fools rarely differ. Quitting is often a good decision. Just because a movie or a book is good doesn't mean you like it. I told my sister this when she was trying to convince me to start watching Sex and the City. I was like, I get their snappy dialogue and all, but I'm not the target demo for that show. Most people over 20 already met a murderer at least once in their lifetime. I dated a murderer before I was even 20, before he became a murderer, of course. The government is trying to pass an anti-encryption bill that could strip away any and all privacy given to US citizens. Depending on enforcement, it would also annihilate the economy of literally any country it was passed in and completely cut it off from all international banking. Being well known doesn't always make you popular, as you may be well known for pissing yourself in class. This really depends on how you define popular. Frequently encountered is one of the definitions of popular. Also, don't judge me for pissing in class. That if this lockdown goes on for longer, India will have far more people dying from starvation than from COVID-19. Same in South Africa. You don't have to be wrong for someone else to be right. That you should really get off your phone and go to sleep. Edit. Lol guys, I meant at night. But it's 4 PM and I have been sleeping until noon every day. That A plus B2 is not equal to A2 plus B2. People spend the majority of their life chasing money without understanding how it works. Then please tell me how it works. Orcas and dolphins aren't happy in those aquatic parks. Most people are not very smart. And even the smart ones are dumb sometimes. Every single year, cruise ships dump 14 billion pounds of garbage into the oceans. Bill Burr's idea of sinking these sounds better and better. Nearly every hand you shake has held a penis. But everyone has touched a vagina. Experience is not equal to competence. The average person eats 3 spiders a year. Factoid is just a statistical error. The average person eats 0 spiders per year. However, Spiders Georg, who lives in cave and eats over 10,000 each day, is an outlier and should not have been counted. The average human being has 1 testicle and 1 ovary. Concentration camps in China are still going on. This 12-minute BBC piece sums it all up very concisely. Oh, and they are supplanting the now imprisoned for thought crimes who are husbands/fathers with single, ethnically Han Chinese men in their own households. They are literally relocating the majority ethnicity to replace and wash out the minority culture and people. Alcohol is poison. Alcohol is the best poison. You aren't supposed to stick Q-tips in your ears. You can't stop me. If someone is smiling, that does not mean they are happy. Yup, cause if you don't smile in American culture, people think there is something wrong with you. Though to be fair, I don't much want to be around people who don't smile. The human head weighs 8 pounds. TikTok is literally Chinese spyware. I tell people this and they laugh. That colds and flu are caused by viruses, not by being cold or wet. Yes, though being cold and wet for a long time will suppress your immune system, making you more vulnerable to viruses. Thomas Edison only patented ideas. He didn't invent them. Being a celebrity does not automatically make someone a medical, economic, or political expert. Edited for phrasing, as too many people want to do Google digging to find celebs who actually do have degrees, as opposed to understanding what was implied in the original wording. Originally said, celebrities aren't actually. Edited the second time to change. Actually, to, automatically, are like that. Thanks. Just because someone has served in the armed forces doesn't mean they deserve respect or are a good person. I agree this applies to law enforcement officers in general too. Apparently, that you have to fucking stop at the big red sign that says stop in California. It's true. The California roll is a thing. Oh no, it's not just California. It's everywhere that it's a problem. Going to college/university doesn't mean you are a genius. Adding to this, doing a trade or having a simple job in the workforce does not make you an idiot. Just because you are in the vocal minority it doesn't mean you are right. And on the flip side, being in the mob majority doesn't mean you're right either. 5G does not cause COVID-19. Fun fact, if you literally stood a foot from a 5G tower you would still be receiving more radiation from the sun than from the tower, and yet some people still choose to believe COVID-19 is somehow just radiation poisoning from these towers. That the two-party system is inefficient and doesn't effectively represent the American population. Well, in Belgium we have 3 different governments with each like 8 political parties to vote on. We have been without government longer than war-torn Iraq. That we are all going to die someday. That science can't prove a negative. Show that vaccines don't give autism. We have never found that they do in the many studies done, but you can't have positive proof for something negative. Just because I hate Trump doesn't mean I loved Obama and or Hillary. My mum always said, in the Trump/Hillary campaign, they are both shit, they will both crash and burn eventually, but you're better off voting for X, because that person is lesser of the two evils. Then I questioned her why. Do I care about an American election? We aren't American. If you edit your comment to app thanks for the gold kind stranger, the kind stranger will probably never see that edit, but everybody else will, and will be annoyed. However, if you reply to the notification DM about the award, the kind stranger will see it for sure, and you would not bother anybody else. You shouldn't have a child unless you are emotionally and financially ready and have a stable partner. And to a lesser degree, pets. If you can't afford to feed and take care of a dog, cat or whatever animal you want, you should not adopt said animal. The fact that we use Arabic numerals. People mock the Arab world without irony, forgetting that algebra